Okay, I know you've seen the title of this video and you're a little annoyed, but how about we make a little deal? Let's make a little deal between you and me. Let's just see what I'm about to say, and then we can have a debate about it at the end. So you're not right, and I'm not wrong, and you're not wrong, and I'm not wrong. Everybody's just really happy. Cool? Cool. Anyway, recently on WWE TV, we did see the return of Kane, and as I've already said on other videos, I was really happy because I love Kane. There's just something about Kane. I think he's a great character, and sometimes I actually go to myself, maybe I prefer him to The Undertaker. Maybe, just maybe. If we have brought him back to get him into a feud with Roman Reigns though, we may as well go whole hog, we may as well go all the way in with it, and we may as well get Roman Reigns to retire Kane. Why? Here's why. Now I do realise if this does happen, things are starting to get a bit crazy. I mean, here we have Roman Reigns, a guy that's main evented loads of WrestleManias. He's won Royal Rumbles. He's been WWE Champion 3 times or whatever it's been. He got rid of John Cena. He's retired The Undertaker. And this does seem like an awful lot to give someone who divides people so much. However, that is kind of the point. I don't necessarily think that WWE is just all of a sudden going to turn a corner with Roman Reigns, unless they turn him heel. But if we are going to push forward with this experiment, we may as well push forward with as much gusto and power as possible, because eventually, believe you me, it will happen eventually, there is going to be a shift, because there has to be a shift. In short, Roman Reigns isn't John Cena. He doesn't help attendance figures, he doesn't help TV ratings, and he can't be selling that much merchandise, because if he was selling loads of merchandise, we'd hear about it. It's those kind of things that trickle down, we know about it, and then we go and have a big argument whether it's good or not. So I'm sure he sells a lot, but it's not anywhere near as much as someone like John Cena. Therefore, at some point in the future, he is going to become the focus of a discussion in a creative meeting, and when we get to that point and certain decisions are made, we may as well have all of our ducks lined up in a row. We've had glimpses of Roman gloating about all of his achievements, and when he does do this, there is something there is some magic. He comes across like some self-entitled asshole, and something inside of you goes, I want to boo that guy. The problem is, at the moment, WWE doesn't want us to do that, so we have this weird atmosphere that we currently have. But if eventually they did make the change, and you could hate him, and you could jeer him, then everyone is going to feel wonderful inside. And that, friends, is where Kane comes into the picture. Now, we've got to be honest with ourselves. Kane is almost 50, so I imagine he's at least thinking about retirement. I hope that never happens. I'd be happy for Kane to exist forever, but that's not being realistic. Again, we've got to look at the reality of the situation. And besides, what a career he's had, and look how much longevity he was able to muster up. Few characters ever get there. Because of this though, we should use everything he has built up to benefit somebody else. And if that has to be Roman Reigns for now, we're going to get to why in a minute, then let it be Roman Reigns. And the story already writes itself. Kane came back to avenge his brother because who retired him? That's right, the big dog, Roman Reigns. So yeah, Reigns manages to take out Kane as well, and while that's not going to endear him to the fans, what I'm hoping is that long term, when we get a few months or a few years down the line, we can actually use this to our advantage. Now this is just my gut talking and I could be well off, but if one day all our hopes and dreams come true, then I'm fine with Reigns being the guy that put the Brothers of Destruction to bed. Do you know how awesome all of this will be when someone else comes along and they become the person to pin Roman Reigns' shoulders to the mat? In many ways, he becomes what Brock Lesnar is now, which is kind of weird, because at the moment, Roman Reigns is going to be the guy to beat Brock Lesnar and take all his oomph across, but then hopefully someone else comes across and Reigns will have all these achievements and that oomph can then go to somebody else. That wasn't the intent, of course. The intent, of course, was to use Lesnar to make Reigns a super duper star. But if plan A doesn't work, let's go to plan B. All this power gets put on Reigns' shoulders, and when the time is right, you do go out and find another wrestler to upend him instead. Then as long as it's done right, that man becomes the new Roman Reigns and the Roman Reigns that WWE wanted in the first place, because he's beaten the man that's main evented WrestleManias, won Royal Rumbles, took out John Cena, took out The Undertaker, took out Kane, beat Triple H, and everything else that he did. It will suck now, of course, because it's going to be yet more love given to Roman, and you're going to roll your eyes like, my gosh, what else are they going to give him? Why don't we just give him the keys to the kingdom? Why don't we just change the name of the company to Roman Reigns-y, which sounds stupid and like a kid's cartoon show. And if my speculation does fall flat, then this isn't good, because we've taken all these legends and we've taken what they could give back to the business and we put it on a failed experiment. And well, that is just sad and we should all go home and cry. I just don't think WWE's going to wake up tomorrow and go, screw Roman, what were we thinking? So if that's not going to happen, I'd rather continue with this big push and then just hope eventually when the dominoes all do fall, they fall in the way that I'd like. Wishful thinking as ever, but I always like to remain positive, because why would you want to be anything else? And also, it does give a nice send-off to Kane. And to be honest with you, at one point, I thought Kane wasn't even going to get a send-off, and he was just going to vanish and become the mayor of Knoxville or whatever, which is cool, as long as he's happy. But Kane most definitely deserves a nice send-off. Obviously, there is every chance that this is just a mini feud to get Roman Reigns through the next few weeks, and Glenn Jacobs ain't going nowhere. And I'm alright with that, because again, I am in love with Kane, so he can come back as much as he wants, and I'll be there with my Kane mask and my Kane flag going, woo! Kane. But if the Roman Reigns ordeal is going to continue regardless, then let's go into it with power and more power and rage and just hope that it works itself out. And also, who else is going to retire Kane? Bray Wyatt? Bray Wyatt wears a shawl now. Ain't no way he's retiring Kane, not on my watch. Either way, I'm just pleased Kane is back really. 20 years of the big red machine. And, you know, you've had some moments, Kane, like that time with Triple H. We don't talk about them. We don't talk about the good bits. So we're not going to talk about your time with X-Pac either. However, still love you, Kane. Thank you for being awesome. Now don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think about all of this. Like, share and subscribe. Head on over to whatculture.com, read yourself some articles. Follow What Culture on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. My name is Simon from What Culture. This is the Y Series, and as always, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for being lovely people, even the ones that say horrible things. I'm still smiling, because if you're not smiling, you're sad, and who wants to be sad? Heath Slater. Don't know what that means.
I am defiant.
I am defiant. I am defiant.
Defiant. I am defiant. I am the villain. We are defiant.
Oh, wasn't that something? Don't forget to like, share and subscribe below, and also the people who made this lovely video, they're appearing right here. But if you're thinking to yourself, I want to see more content, Jules, then why not look above my head, as there probably is some. I don't know. I can't see it. Until next time.